What is up guys, welcome back to another video. We almost come to the end of this month, which means it's time for us to check out another episode of top 10 new release free-to-play games that you can play right now on the month of December. I'm not gonna lie guys, December or the holiday season is pretty good for game deals and everything, but when it comes to free-to-play games, it's kind of a dry season in my opinion, but I still put up a decent list of games for you guys to enjoy for absolutely free, and I'm planning to cover a lot more free-to-play games on the upcoming year as well. So guys, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Alright, starting the video with the number 7, we got the Ascent Reborn. Ascent Reborn is a free-to-play third-person action RPG type of a game which was developed and published by Outer Heavens. This game is basically a classic action RPG with old-school graphic style and pretty interesting gameplay elements. In this game, you play as a warrior who fight against the new gods who rise into claim having the ultimate power. The game has a dynamic, evolving world that changes every time, and you will also fight against various type of brutal enemies and monsters along the way. The game is basically similar to the games like Skyrim, but more like a cut down version of it. Anyway, currently the game is having close to 450 reviews on Steam, and most of them are sitting at mostly positive reviews. And also you don't have to worry about the system requirement, you can basically run this game on any PC or laptop without any issues. Alright, at number 6 we got a very classic looking but a super fun casual game, that is the Minesweeper Tetris. This is the combination of the best two classical games that we have back in the 90s, and that is the Minesweeper and the Tetris. And someone actually go ahead and combine both of these games into a single pack and put it on Steam, and I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, it's a super fun casual game to play, especially if you have some spare time to spend. Currently the game is having close to 90 reviews on Steam and most of them are very positive. Yeah, just go ahead and download and yeah, have fun. Next up at number 5, we got a game that is casual and competitive at the same time, and that is the Fallen Arena. Fallen Arena is a free-to-play action 3D platformer type of a game where your objective is quite simple, and that is to kill your opponents and gather many crystals as you can. And collecting those crystals will ultimately give you points, and player with the highest number of points will win the game ultimately. Currently the game is having more than 1100 plus reviews on Steam, and most of them are overwhelmingly positive, which is quite surprising in my opinion. It's another game you don't have to worry about system requirements because the specs are quite low specs friendly. Next up we have a super fun game for those who like to play strategy based games. This game is called Duelist 2 and it's a free-to-play strategy based card game that was developed and published by the Dream Sloth Games. In this game you have various of factions to select out of the 6 factions that are in the game right now, and you can also construct a deck from 100 of unique cards and take them to the battlefield. And the game also has a separate rank mode if you're someone who like to grind ranks. Currently the game is having close to 900 reviews on Steam, and most of them are sitting at mostly positive reviews, which I think is really good. And also the system requirements are also quite low specs friendly. You only need to have a dual core PC with 4 gigs of RAM to play this game. Alright, at number 3 spot we have one of the most popular free-to-play games to release on this month, and that is the Paragon the Overprime. Paragon Overprime is a free-to-play third-person action MOBA style of a game where your ultimate objective is to conquer the prime battlefield with your team. In this game you can choose a hero with many unique abilities and skills, and you also have to communicate and work with your team in order to secure the win. Overall gameplay of this game is quite enjoyable, but at the same time the graphics looks absolutely stunning in my opinion. Currently the game having close to 6,500 reviews on Steam, and most of them are sitting at mixed review category. But nevertheless, it's a pretty solid free-to-play game, but you need to have a somewhat of a higher system requirements to play this game compared to the other games on this list. Alright, next up at number 2 we have quite a new game that was released about a couple of days ago and recently getting a lot more popularity, and that is the SCP Lab Rat. I'm not gonna lie, SCP games are quite popular on Steam and definitely have a dedicated player base who absolutely loves these type of games. Anyway, SCP Lab Rat is mainly a single player horror survival type of a game, but you can also play this game on online co-op as well. And not like other SCP games, this game also supports VR, which I think is really cool, but it's not necessary, you can play this as a normal game. Anyway, currently the game is having over 1600 reviews on Steam, and most of them are sitting at very positive reviews, and you also need to have somewhat of a decent PC with some dedicated graphics in order to play this game. Alright, at number 1 spot we have the Project Playtime, and some of you guys also comment and suggest me to check this game out on my previous videos, so here we are in the number 1 spot. Anyway, Project Playtime is a free-to-play multiplayer horror survival game where you play inside a toy factory, which I think is super cool. This game was developed and published by Mob Games and recently getting tons of positive feedback, popularity from the community. This is actually an online co-op game where you have to play with 6 of the other players, and your objective is to work as a team and try to create one giant toy while try to surviving the monster who destroy all the toys in the factory, and this monster is also controlled by another player, so it's definitely a challenging game to play. But if you have a bunch of friends to play, you're gonna have a super fun time. Currently the game is having close to 15,000 reviews on Steam, and most of them are sitting at mostly positive reviews. Assistant requirements are also somewhat decent, but you need to have a dedicated graphics card to play this game. Well, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you find some cool new free-to-play games to play if you have some spare time to spend with. So this is going to be my last video for this year. So moving on to 2023, we got tons of new free-to-play games to check out. So stay tuned for more content like this. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay safe.